The Africa Cup of Nations, or Afcon, has long been the heartbeat of African football, uniting the continent every 2 years in a festival of pride and passion. For decades, this biennial rhythm made Afcon a unique fixture in world football, giving fans regular excitement and players frequent chances to shine. But now, a seismic shift is underway. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has decided to hold Afcon every 4 years instead. This change will reshape the landscape for players, fans, and the entire football ecosystem in Africa. The decision has sparked intense debate. Some see opportunity, others feel a cherished tradition slipping away. Why now? Is this truly for the good of African football, or are there other forces at play? In this video, we'll break down the reasons behind CAF's move, the controversy over FIFA's influence, and what this means for the future. We'll hear from CAF President Patrice Motsepe, explore the introduction of a brand new competition, and weigh the hopes and fears of fans across the continent. Our goal: to understand all sides of this historic change and what it means for the beautiful game in Africa. The future of African football is at a crossroads. Let's dive in and see what's really at stake. The journey begins now. For generations, Afcon's 2-year cycle set it apart from other major tournaments, keeping African football in the global spotlight. This frequency gave players more chances to represent their countries and fans a steady stream of unforgettable moments. The biennial format boosted local economies, inspired young talent, and fostered unity across the continent. Host nations benefited from new infrastructure and international attention. Legendary teams and underdog stories became part of our shared history. But with the move to a 4-year cycle after 2028, that familiar rhythm will end. Players will have fewer opportunities to lift the trophy, and fans will wait longer for the next chapter. The change marks the end of an era, one filled with magic, rivalry, and pride. As we look ahead, it's important to honor the legacy of the biennial Afcon. The memories will last, even as the tournament evolves. African football is entering a new age. So, why did CAF make this bold move? CAF's leaders say a 4-year Afcon will boost the tournament's prestige, making it a bigger global event and attracting more sponsors and viewers. The crowded football calendar was another factor. European clubs often clashed with Afcon's timing, reluctant to release their African stars mid-season. Aligning with other major tournaments could ease these conflicts and help players represent their countries without club pressure. Host nations will also have more time to prepare, leading to better organized events and improved experiences for everyone. CAF argues this change opens space for new competitions, diversifying revenue and opportunities for teams. The goal: a more balanced, sustainable football ecosystem in Africa. Instead of relying on one tournament, CAF wants multiple successful competitions to drive growth. This is the foundation of their long-term strategy. But not everyone is convinced. When CAF announced the change, suspicions quickly surfaced. Critics pointed to FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who had pushed for a 4-year Afcon years earlier. Many believe FIFA and powerful European clubs pressured CAF to fall in line with the global calendar. The argument: a biennial Afcon disrupted European leagues, and this change benefits them more than Africa. Some fear African football is losing its independence, becoming a follower rather than a leader. The debate has split the football community. Some see modernization, others see surrender. At its core, this controversy is about pride, autonomy, and the future direction of African football. Is CAF making decisions for Africa, or bowing to outside interests? The answer isn't simple, but the questions are vital. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The next move will define Africa's place in global football. The conversation is far from over. CAF President Patrice Motsepe responded to critics head-on at a press conference in Rabat. He insisted the decision was made by Africans, for Africans, rejecting claims of FIFA interference. Motsepe's message: we must free ourselves as Africans and have more confidence in ourselves. He called for a new spirit of pride and independence, urging Africa to chart its own course in football. Motsepe admitted CAF could have communicated better, acknowledging the shock and confusion among fans. He promised the benefits of this change would soon become clear, asking for patience and unity. Motsepe's vision is long-term, a stronger, richer, and more respected African football. He knows trust must be earned, not demanded. The challenge now is to deliver results and prove this new direction is truly for Africa's benefit. Motsepe's words are a rallying cry for belief in African leadership. The future, he insists, is in African hands. Now it's time to see if that promise holds. To fill the gap left by a less frequent Afcon, CAF is launching the African Nations League in 2029. Inspired by Europe's UEFA Nations League, this new competition will group national teams by ranking, ensuring competitive matches for all. Every CAF member will have meaningful games, not just friendlies, throughout the year. The goal: more regular, high-stakes football to develop teams, test new players, and keep fans engaged. Developing nations will have real chances to compete for trophies and promotion. Motsepe believes the Nations League could even surpass Afcon in revenue, transforming African football's finances. If successful, the money will be reinvested in grassroots programs, infrastructure, and professional leagues. The hope is to build a stronger foundation for the future of the game across Africa. The Nations League is a bold experiment, one that could redefine the continent's football landscape. The stakes are high, but so is the potential. All eyes are on 2029. Money is at the heart of these changes. For years, CAF relied on the biennial Afcon for nearly 80% of its income, a risky dependence on a single event. Moving to a 4-year cycle could halve that revenue, unless the new African Nations League delivers. CAF's strategy is to create two major revenue streams: a more prestigious Afcon and a commercially successful Nations League. Financial independence is the goal, less reliance on FIFA, more power to invest in youth, women's football, and infrastructure. But it's a gamble. If the Nations League flops, CAF could face a financial crisis. Critics warn that giving up a proven moneymaker for an untested idea is risky. The next few years will reveal if this bold plan pays off. Success could mean a richer, more self-sufficient African football. Failure would be a major setback. The financial future of the continent's game hangs in the balance. Not everyone is convinced by CAF's vision. Former players, coaches, and administrators argue that a biennial Afcon gave more opportunities to players, especially with short careers. With a 4-year gap, many stars may only play in 2 or 3 tournaments. Critics fear this will weaken the bond between players and national teams and limit the rise of new talent. Organizational issues persist. Senegal's coach recently slammed poor security and facilities at Afcon. These problems show that even with change, professionalism and attention to detail are still lacking. Critics demand not just new tournaments, but higher standards across the board. For CAF's new vision to succeed, every aspect of African football must improve. The fans and teams deserve the best. Critical voices are essential. They hold leaders accountable and push for real progress. The pressure is on for CAF to deliver. Despite the controversy, President Motsepe's vision is clear: a stronger, more respected, and financially independent African football. The new 4-year Afcon and African Nations League are the pillars of this plan. If successful, increased revenue will fuel growth, developing young players, better coaches, improved stadiums, and support for women's football. The dream is opportunity for every talented boy and girl across Africa. The road ahead is tough, with challenges from organization to financial risk. Motsepe asks for patience and trust, promising results in the coming years. The next few years will test CAF's strategy and leadership. Will the Nations League thrive? Will the new Afcon become a bigger spectacle? While we say goodbye to the old, there's hope for a new dawn. If this vision succeeds, African football could stand prouder than ever on the world stage. The future is unwritten, but the ambition is undeniable.